I've been thinking a lot about the gym leaders in Pokemon Sword and Shield because they're really cool. This is probably going to be the most memorable cast of gym leaders outside of Kanto, and I think the Galar region has a lot to do with that because Pokemon and Pokemon battles are core to the people and industry of Galar. We even have this little blurb right here which ties the world together so beautifully. Spectators will flock to the gym stadiums to view these battles, and the matches are broadcast on television as well. That's because everything is about Pokemon battling, and we see it inside the trailers. That the gym stadiums, they're not just like these little gyms you go into, you do a task, and then you get your badge. It's an actual stadium. It represents a sporting arena. We see the filled stands with the crowd, and then also sponsors. Gym leaders get sponsors, and it really shows because it's that important that you make money, you make a career as a gym leader, and just instead of just being like a guy that's good at Pokemon, it really is like everything kind of brought together, and I really like that. Also, the Pokeball holder, this is one of like the coolest things ever, and they also wear uniforms. So it's kind of like an official league sanctioned jersey. You can even see like the little logo for the Pokemon Gym Challenge on their shirts or somewhere inside their design. And then they also have a lot of unique character aspects as well. So there's some really cool little details inside of each of the characters, and they all look wonderful, and you can really feel their personality just by looking at them, which is another really nice touch. Also, I've noticed they have like a glove on each hand, which also feels like a league sanctioned kind of thing. And I think it also kind of shows what their dominant hand is. So Allister actually looking to be like left-handed, and then the others are going to be right-handed. Now, an interesting thing I've noticed about Allister's design is that it has kind of that classical feel to it, because he's actually wearing suspenders and has a collar on his shirt. Not my personal design choice, but still something really cool, and then of course, the mask. But the reason why he wears the mask is because he's extremely shy and fearful. He always hides his face with a mask, even when around other people. He rarely makes public appearances, and apparently spends most of the time around ruins or cemeteries. However, that probably just makes him more of a celebrity in the Galar region, because you have this mysterious dude who's really good at Pokemon, and then it's really rare to kind of interact with him at all, but still selling out the stadiums. So it's like a Twitch streamer that never reads chat or donations, but people still give him thousands of dollars anyways. And I think that just kind of shows like if you can convey your personality across, then you're going to be very successful while also representing that power inside of Pokemon battles. Then we also have Leon. I mean, I've never seen anyone look more like a champion except for Lance. Because, like, it's one of those things, like, he made it to champion, and then he probably just had, like, all of this money and all of this fame thrown at him. He's like, I can do whatever I want. You get a style, fashion budget, and then you're like, okay, I'm going to look at you, and then you're going to realize that you're going up against greatness. And that is Leon's character design completely, and that's what I love about how it's all represented. So yeah, in Pokemon Sword and Shield, it really feels like being an elite battler means something. At least means more than any other Pokemon game or any other interpretation of Pokemon that we've had before, and that makes it something to aspire to become champion, to represent yourself as one of the best trainers, and then it also has like tangible rewards. You know, you don't feel like just some dude that's working the average middling job as a gym leader or something, when it actually leads to fame, success, wealth, and all kinds of recognition. But then there's also the other character designs. Marnie and Bede look really cool. Like, some people mock him for being a grandma and don't like the color of his clothes. I think if some dude rolls up to you looking like this and it turns out to be your rival, you're kind of in a lot of trouble. So and also it's mostly the smirk, you know, the condescension, the cocky attitude that you just get looking at him. Mostly sells the character, but overall I would say not a bad design. And then same goes for Marnie. So once again, this just made me think more about the region and then tying everything together and what it means to be an elite Pokemon battler. And then I started thinking about Pokemon Masters, because Pokemon Masters has brought a lot of classic characters back into the spotlight in ways that, you know, you might have otherwise forgotten about. I'm pulling gym leaders and I'm using gym leaders from games that I haven't really cared to put much notice into. If anything, it feels like Pokemon Masters gives more recognition to the individual characters than the games they are from. Especially in the games, because you only see their portrait 2, maybe 3 times. You know, their character when they first challenge you, then after you defeat them, and then depending on which game you're playing, there might be a little verse banner that comes up, and that's really all that you get to see or understand about the character, and then like 3 lines of dialogue. So a lot of the gym leaders I feel have been really lost, but then start to make more of a comeback when you're constantly exposed to them in a game like Pokemon Masters. And then that made me want to like look at these characters' designs even more, because there's some characters in Pokemon that feel like they are really over the top kind of design. You see that in a lot of anime, you see that in a lot of things where it's just like, how does this person exist like that in the real world? But that's really how they're represented, and that's how that person comes off, so that's a big thing. And I really like Red's redesign as well, because you have like this bigger coat, but also you have little nods to Mega Charizard X. That's another thing that you see in certain characters. Not every gym leader, not every rival, but every once in a while, you know, there's a character where their signature Pokemon is represented inside of their design, or at least their theme is represented inside their design. But then you look at some of the regular characters, you know, Brendan, it's just a kid, and he's about to just run out on an adventure. You know, Blue, he just looks like your average dude, but he still looks good. He dresses nice, and then he's going to destroy you in Pokemon because he's one of the best trainers. So I just kind of kept tumbling down this rabbit hole. It started with Pokemon Sword and Shield because I really like how Pokemon battles are represented and how they are a big part of the region itself. Then I'm playing Pokemon Masters regularly every day, but then I wanted to go and look at the characters that aren't represented in Pokemon Masters because they haven't been released yet. I want to see what the designs represent for their character. And for the most part, a lot of the characters just feel like they're wearing real clothes and like normal outfits that kind of represent them. Every once in a while, there might be an extra little touch, like with Morty. You know, that scarf, probably a little custom, because, you know, he is a gym leader after all, so he gets those extra things added onto him. And then, yeah, like Brawly, he's just got some workout gear, and he's also got the toe shoes. Mad respect for the Vibrams. And then everyone else, but then we get into something like Winona, and Winona, she has an aviator's kind of outfit, but it's definitely stylized a lot more to represent the flying nature of her gym. And you see like all these designs all over the place, you know, sometimes just like over-dramatized Texan. Berg is just wearing weird clothes. Alyssa, though, she's actually like a superstar, so she gets to have that crazy pop design that is totally unique to her character and stuff like that. So we see this kind of mix that happens, but then I don't even know what's going on with Grant. Like, Grant looks like an average climber, but then his hair is well beyond ordinary. Valerie looks like some kind of crazy, like, experimental model that has a huge amount of fanfare or something. Olympia, she's kind of in a league of her own with how out there she is, but as like representing as a psychic, representing with all this kind of extra like woo-woo stuff going on. And then Wolfric looks like that judge from Forged in Fire in a wife beater, partially wearing a heavy jacket. So it is one of those things where like sometimes someone just like walks up, and if they have like a crazy over-designed kind of feel to them, they're definitely going to stand out. Now, I think Marlon's design is weird because of how like super tan but also super pale he is at the same time, but it is different. It is extra and like stands out in that kind of way. So sometimes when like, I think that's what really sells a character and makes them a lot more memorable, and I think we get that a lot with the characters in Pokemon Sword and Shield, like especially the gym leaders, because they have to, like, they wear the same kind of league outfit, but then they just take their style to the next level where they stand above the average Pokemon trainer in a really cool way. And then other people just look cool, like we have Guzma. Guzma's just awesome. I've always been a huge fan of Silver. Like, it's just a simple jacket with a little bit of like extra trim on it. I've been trying to search for like a real life jacket that exists that looks like Silver's. I've never quite been able to just find one. I actually made one myself for a cosplay I did years ago. I think I pulled it off really well. And then he just kind of has like the crazy red hair, and it's GG. But this made me realize something, that it's not that difficult to just represent yourself in the real world as an exceptional Pokemon trainer. And that's something I've been trying to do for just years now. Like, how would I look as a Pokemon trainer if Pokemon was real in that kind of way? I think I've just kind of like stumbled into it naturally in kind of a weird way, because I was looking at the gym leaders, I was looking at these other characters, I was looking at rivals and champions, and yeah, there are some very eccentric, over-the-top people and over-the-top designs that kind of, actually that's not even as crazy. Juan just kind of sells himself through his own personality, but there's some like really over-the-top stuff that just isn't naturally obtainable as clothing. And I was like, maybe I should go for that if I'm trying to like represent myself as a trainer. You know, we have a lot of like crazy Elite Four designs. Some of the champions are more straightforward, like Cynthia. She looks realistic, but also still incredibly like powerful looking with a really nice design. I Iris is just a little out there, but still something that seems doable. So I had this idea in my head that, you know, if I was to be represented as a Pokemon master or trainer or gym leader, that I have to have some kind of crazy design and really sell it. But I actually don't think you need that. You just need to dress a little different to stand out, and it still works. And then I realized I've kind of been doing this all along, that for Galar, for Pokemon Sword and Shield, I was thinking about like a crazy in real life over-design, redesign of myself to kind of represent back into how I would be in the Pokemon world. You know, what would Gym Leader Verlis look like? How would I be as an Elite Four member if I was your rival and I just come rolling up? How crazy would I have to look? And I've been pulling it off the entire time, I feel, in a really successful way, that outside of like my Ancient Mew or my full print t-shirts that I have, you know, I really like the sleeveless jacket, and then it also has like a hoodie going on. It just kind of has that bulk, you know. It really, I think, sells the rest of the design. And then most time I wear a t-shirt under it, but I think just the long sleeve black shirt would be pretty cool. Maybe a little bit of extra red, because that is like my central theme, is just black and red, or dark gray and red. Have my dyed hair, that's generally unusual. And I really feel like the only thing missing outside of that would be like some really crazy pants that like kind of complete the theme. But I've also always been doing that because I've had these really cool trip pants for a while, and anyone that's like seen me wear them in full, couple videos, couple like vlogs and stuff overall, like it really works. But now these pants are completely destroyed. This is like a rip in the bottom of the pant leg, and they're all old and faded, and I don't get to wear them as much anymore. But I think these were maybe a little too over the top, that it was like a design clash with like this weird like tech pattern with like some kind of circuits, and then just the empty zipper thing. Like they looked really cool, and I think I pulled them off pretty nicely, but they weren't like a unique custom personal design to me. And I think something that'd be really cool would be something like these swim trunks I have, that it goes from like a gradient from red to black, but I actually prefer black and then red at the bottom. If anyone knows like this but pants or trips, please link those. I would love to really sell the I just like love to complete that. And then I think it's just like I do different things, and I kind of elevate myself from just like a standard looking person, which is really what the theme of being a gym leader or an elite Pokemon trainer is. And then other than that, I already have the collar, so that's like a unique piece of clothing, but also has Pokemon on it, so it ties everything together in a pretty cool way. And the only thing that'd be missing from there is like some kind of headwear, but I can't really think of anything that would work, you know? I don't pull off hoodies. Like if I'm wearing a hoodie, now suddenly I just don't look good anymore. I don't stand out anymore. Even like I was thinking like, what if I half wear it to kind of show off the red, but I think my hairline's receding too much to catch onto that. So I think it just looks cool when you have like that bulk back there kind of just filling out the rest of the design. Headphones, I mean, mostly people just wear them like that, but that's more of like a steel or electric type trainer or something. If I was to have like a gym leader type or like a type representation, it would be Ghost. I just wreck people with like Aegislash, Driftblim, Sableye all day long. So I don't really know like what else. I guess it's like the collar comes in with like some kind of just above the waist, or not above the waist, above the torso kind of theme going on. I don't have like any kind of over crazy hairdo or anything, because we start getting into anime things that gets hard to do in real life. So just like dyeing my hair and spiking it a little kind of works. So yeah, I think I need to stop worrying about it, because I've already figured out how it would look like in the Pokemon world, and I've already accomplished being an elite career Pokemon trainer in real life. Also, these are the pants I currently have. They work just fine. So I think the only thing I'm missing at that point would be like some kind of Pokeball holder. Maybe not put it in the pockets, you know, you just chill like that. I thought about having like a backpack, you know, one of those backpacks that's just like goes over your chest like this and just has like the one strap to it, and then have the Pokeballs on that. But I've seen that design before. I can't remember like which character or which other person has like represented like their own trainer Sona in that kind of way. So I would just figure something out, and that's kind of like another reason why I did this video, because I was so inspired by the cool little like holsters that they have in the Galar region. And I think it's funny how like this video was mostly just inspired by those really cool Pokeball holsters, and then going deeper into the design and the meanings and stuff inside of Pokemon Sword and Shield. I can't really think of anything else outside of that. I think that people have seen me at like events, anime conventions, tournaments, packs. It's like, yeah, I look like I'm here as a Pokemon trainer for a Pokemon battle, so Pokemon Trainer Verlis has been accomplished, and we got to take a look at designs and stuff in Pokemon. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you all have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching.